A very good morning to all. We shall begin with the session in a few minutes. A very good morning to all. Myself, Mrs. Deepa Audi, President of the Institution's Innovation Council, take this privilege to welcome one and all to this online impact lecture series, session 2, organized by the Institution's Innovation Council of Dhempe College of Arts and Science and sponsored by the Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell and All India Council of Technical Education, Government of India. I welcome Madam Principal Professor Vrinda Borkar to this platform. I also welcome the coordinator of Impact Lecture Series, Dr. Ramu Murthy, to this platform. The Impact Lecture Series is an initiative of Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell to organize sessions, thereby creating awareness and skill in innovation, entrepreneurship, and intellectual property rights amongst faculty and students in IIC institutes in various regions across the country as per the Niti Aayog program. We have conducted the one session of Impact Lecture Series on the 24th of June, and today's is the second session of the Impact Lecture Series. Today's session is comprising of two lectures based on the theme. The first, intellectual property rights and patent filing, and second, innovation in research and development. We are highly privileged to have eminent guest speakers for today's lecture series. Dr. Kumar Chodankar, who is also an esteemed alumni of Dhempe College and presently the CEO of A Solutions Pharmaceuticals Private Limited based in Mumbai, and Mrs. Sapna Narvaria, the Assistant Controller for Patents and Design from the Indian Patent Office, Mumbai. We welcome you at Dhempe College. I now request Dr. Bhanudas Naik to introduce the first speaker for today's session, Mrs. Sapna Narvaria.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Dhempe Charities Trust, Dhempe College of Arts and Science, it is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker for the Impact Lecture Series, Mrs. Sapna Narvaria, Assistant Controller of Patents and Design, Patent Office, Mumbai. Mrs. Sapna Narvaria is working for Government of India since more than 10 years as Assistant Controller of Patents and Designs at the Indian Patent Office, Mumbai, in the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. She primarily deals with examination and disposal of patent applications in the field of biotechnology. At present, she is leading record management of Patent Office, Mumbai. She worked as assistant professor for 2 years at Sant Hadaram Girls College, Bhopal. She completed her Master of Biotechnology from Barkatullah University, Bhopal, and Bachelor of Biotechnology from Government Motilal Vigyan Mahavidyalaya, Bhopal. She also had an opportunity to work for the leading CSIR Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology Research Organization. I welcome Mrs. Sapna Narvaria for the lecture series. Our topic of presentation is Intellectual Property Rights and Patent Filing. I request Madam to commence with the lecture.
Yes, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So a very good morning to all of you, and I hope you all are happy, healthy, and safe at your respective places. And thank you, Deepa Madam and Bhanudas Naik, for introducing myself. And I'm really very happy to share my knowledge regarding intellectual property right with all of you. And thank you, Madam Vrinda Borkar, Madam, for giving me this opportunity for sharing my knowledge regarding intellectual property. So without wasting much time, I would like to start my presentation. So I'll share my PPT. Yes, is it visible to all of you? Is it visible, my screen? Are you able
Yes,
to
yes,
see?
screen is
Okay,
visible.
okay. So, in this presentation, I am going to cover various intellectual property rights like patent, trademark, design, copyright, and geographical indication. So, before explaining each and every right, first I would like to tell about what is intellectual property. And before explaining about intellectual property, we should know what is property. So we are all aware that what is actually property. The things that belongs to somebody is called the property. Okay, it can be any residential property, it can be industrial property, it can be commercial property, and even the pen also it can be treated as a property if it belongs to me. So this is we can call that it is a property. But when the intellectual property comes, how we will define it? What is intellectual property? So from the slide itself, you can judge that it is a creation of mind. It is the creation of human intellect. Whatever we are creating by using our mind, by using human intellect, that will be considered as an intellectual property. So now, today I am going to explain about intellectual property rights. Okay, so now we have seen that what is property and what is intellectual property. So you might have already known this, that for registering the property, for protecting your property, you need to register your property in the registrar offices. Then only you can say that yes, this is my property, yes, this is my home, this is my land. Okay, because you have certain proof that this is your property. Likewise, for the intellectual property, there are certain rights for protecting your intellectual property. And what are these rights? These rights are called intellectual property rights. So what is intellectual property right? These are the rights, these are the exclusive rights to protect the intellectual property. Whatever the person has created by using his mind, it can be either invention, it can be any literary work, any drawing, any painting, any logo, it can be anything, whatever we have created by using our mind. So it will come under intellectual property, and for protecting it, you need to get it registered and through some rights, and these rights are called the intellectual property rights. And what is the importance of these intellectual property rights? We can protect our invention, we can protect our intellectual property right, intellectual property. We can exclude others for selling, making, and commercializing it. Okay, and we can utilize our intellectual property, we can commercialize it, and we can earn from it. So these are the some importance of intellectual property rights. What are these rights? What I have told you, these rights are patent, trademark, copyright, geographical indication, and industrial design. So these are the legal terms which have been given to the intellectual property rights for protecting different kind of invention, creations. Like if the person is creating invention by using his intellect or by using his mind, then it can be registered or it can be protected by means of patent. And if you have created some new design, so and you want to protect it, you want to get the registration of this design, so you'll have to go into the design section. That is you need to register it under Design Registration Act. So I'll be explaining each intellectual property right one by one. And I'll start with the patent, and I'll focus more on the patent as the topic suggests that I'm going to cover the intellectual property right, the overview, and the patent filing. So now the question comes, what is actually patent? What is patent? It is intellectual property right, so it is exclusive monopoly right, which is granted by Government of India. And for what it can be granted, patent is granted for invention. And this is the territorial right. Territorial right means it will be limited to the country only. Means if the applicant is applying for the patent in India, then he'll be getting the patent certificate for protecting his invention in India only. He cannot protect his invention in outside India like US and EP. So like that, it is a territorial right. It can be the applicant can protect his invention only in the territory where he has filed the application and from where he got the patent. Then it is granted to inventor, or it can be granted to assignee. Means the inventor can file the application or the assignee can file the application. Okay, the person who has invented the application, who has invented the some invention, new invention, he can directly file the patent application in patent office, and he can get the patent after complying with the certain requirements of the Patent Act. But if inventor does not want to file the patent application and he just want to assign all his right to the company or the institution or any university or college wherever he is working, so and he has assigned all his right, so that assignee can also file the application in patent office. In this case, the patent certificate and the patent will be granted in the name of the assignee. Now the inventor has assigned his right to the assignee. That is why. And when applicant is filing for the patent application, he needs to disclose his complete invention in the form of an specification. That I'll be telling you that what is a specification, but it is the major requirement that you need to disclose each and every aspect of your invention in terms of even what is the title, what is the background, and what is the summary of invention, how you have achieved that invention, and what are the examples you have carried out throughout your invention, what data you have got, that you have to mention each and every. Means Patent Act itself tells that the complete specification should be fully and particularly disclose each and everything of the specification. In lieu of that disclosure, that government grants the patent to the applicant. And the term of patent is 20 years from the date of filing. And as I told you right now that the patent is granted for the invention. So what are actually inventions? So Patent Act defines the invention under Section 21J of the Patent Act 1970, that invention means a new product or process involving an inventive step and capable of industrial application. So this definition means your application, whatever you are filing, should comply. This thing means your invention should be new. It should be completely new. Whatever means you are filing application for product or process, whatever it is, it should be completely new. The first thing. The second is it should involve an inventive step. But now the question comes, what is inventive step? That is also defined under section 21JA. That is written here. Okay. So 21JA inventive step means a feature of an invention that involves technical advancement as compared to the existing knowledge, or having economic significance, or both, and that makes the invention not obvious to a person skilled in the art. So the first thing is the invention should be new. The second thing is inventive step should be there in your product or process. And what is that inventive step? Inventive step means the technical advancement. The, whatever feature you are including and whatever invention you are inventing, it should comprise of some technical advancement from the existing prior art. The third one is the capable of industrial application. The meaning of capable of industrial application means it can be made and used in the industry. So this is the major requirement of the patent under section 2(1)(j) of the Patent Act, that you have to, or the applicant have to keep in mind what is the meaning of invention. And I'll try to explain this thing like how the product can be new and how the inventive step can be judged and the capable of industrial application through one example. So I hope everyone can see what it is. Yes, it is iron, but it is not a normal iron. We can see that there are some differences in this iron, and it is a self-lifting iron. And this patent number has already given. And if you want to read this complete article, you can find out this patent number in the Google and you can read it. So many of the time what happens when we use iron in our home, what happens means sometimes we forget to sometimes it happens that somebody called us and somebody just said, hey, please listen to me, and we just keep the iron like that on the surface and we just attend the call and we just attend that person, and we just forget that okay, we were ironing our clothes, and we just leave the iron like that. So what will happen after some time? It will definitely damage the surface of the it will definitely damage the surface, or it will burn the surface. Okay, might be the inventor of this invention, he might have also might have also faced such kind of problem, that he might have facing such kind of problem on daily routine, that might be he might be getting some call, and every time he might be forgetting the iron on the surface itself. So then he have got some idea that what can I do to solve this problem. This is a problem in the prior art, okay, and what can I do? And he might have reached to this solution, that he has used a sensor in the handle and he has used an elevation mechanism in the iron. You know, by using the sensor in the handle, it can sense whether the person is attending the iron or not. Means if the person is not attending the iron, so the iron will sense it. Okay, nobody is here, and I have to perform my function. And what is the function of at that time, which is related to the sensor, is to elevate the iron. That elevation would be worked by the use of elevation mechanism. So by using of sensor and elevation mechanism, this kind of self-lifting iron has been invented. Because sensor is sensing that okay, nobody is here, and the iron is lifting it up by itself. So it's very great invention. It's awesome. Means whenever if I am leaving the press, leaving the iron like that, so it will lift it up, and it's great. Means even I can attend the call and I can listen to somebody. Okay, if somebody is calling me, so I can hear them. So what means this is the example what I have just explained you. Now what you can understand from it, that it is a completely new product, okay, because it is not already available in the market and it is not already available in the prior art, that you need to search before granting the product. We search the different kind of prior arts, okay, so it was not there in the prior art, so it was completely new. First requirement met. Now, this the use of sensor and the use of elevation mechanism, it is creating a technical advancement over the existing prior, because nobody has used this sensor and elevation mechanism for inventing such type of iron. So the second requirement, that is inventive step, has also met. The third one, that is industrial application. It is, yes, we can made and use this iron in the industry. So all the requirements of the invention, that is section 2(1)(j) met, so it can be patentable. But in Indian Patent Act, there is one more section, that is section 3. Section 3 describes that what are not inventions. Okay, when you will go through a patent act, you just go to the section 3 and you will read the title, that what are not invention. So it describes various parts like 3A, 3B, 3, 3C, 3D. Okay, so it describes that even if your invention complies all with the requirements, but it falls under section 3, then also it would not get the patent. So this is the requirement of section 3 of the Indian Patent Act. So these are the things what applicants need to check. This is the further diagram of iron, which is showing that how it has created like elevation mechanism and the use of the sensor. Now, you all know that what is patent and for what it is granted, and you know the requirements of patentability also, novelty, inventive step, industrial applicability. Okay, and as a research scholar, and you have got some idea, आपके दिमाग की बत्ती जलेगी. Okay, I have to invent this thing, I want to improve this problem, I want to find out this solution, whatever you have read in your research articles, and you just want to invent something new. So what you need to do, you need to first perform the patent search. You need to perform the patent search. Where you can perform the patent search? You can perform the patent search in patent search engine, that the Indian Patent Office database, WIPO, EPO, USPTO, Google Patents. When you will just type these things on the Google, you will be getting, means WIPO ka website, you will get EPO ka website, you will get Indian Patent Office, like IP India ka website, you will be getting. Google Patent, you will just type on the Google, then you will be getting the Google Patent, like the Google is called. Okay, so these are the freely available patent search engine. And non-patent search, most of you already aware about it, that Google Scholar and search engine of research paper journals, and web search like Google India. So these are the various search engine that where you can search for your invention, what you have invented, whether it is for what, to checking the novelty, inventive step, industrial applicability, and whether like these are the requirements. Okay, so you will get some idea also, even if you find some prior art. Okay, यार ये मेरा तो invention already known है, but you can find out certain things, means where are the gray areas, where I need to work upon. Okay, this was the problem in this prior art, so I can work upon it. I can solve this problem in that way. So this will be really very helpful for you for before filing the patent application. So these are the patent search engine. So whenever you invent something, so you can do this search for checking the novelty, inventive step, and industrial applicability. And your invention, if it is falling under section 3, it should not fall under section 3 for getting a patent. Okay, because section 3, what I have just said, it describes what are not inventions. Okay, so these are the what you require before filing the patent application. Now, patent application filing. You know what is patent and all about. And you have invented also, you have invented very good invention, and you want to file a patent application. So what you need to do? These are the major prescribed forms, that form 1, 2, 3, 5, 18. There are many forms, approx 30 forms are there in the patent act. You can go through it. I cannot explain each and every form, but these are the just major forms. So you can fill that form. Everything is given on the IP website. Form 1 is the application for patent. That is, you need to fill all the details like applicant name and inventor name, address of the applicant, inventor, nationality, what is the title of your invention. So many sections are there in form 1 that you can fill. Now form 2, that is specification, what I have mentioned in the patent, in the theory part of the patent, that specification, you have to draft your invention in a way that you are giving a good title which is related to your invention. Then you are describing the background of the invention and summary of the invention, the drawing, examples, everything you have to mention in complete specification. And this is the form 3, that is foreign filing details. Okay, suppose if applicant has already filed the patent application in some other country, and then he is filing the application in Indian Patent Office. So he need to disclose all the details, whatever he has filed in other countries in the form 3, that is foreign filing details. And form 5, as the name of the form 5 suggests, that declaration of inventorship. Yes, it is the declaration by the inventor that I am the inventor of this invention. Form 18, that is the request for examination. It is very important form. It is mandate. It is very important. Means if the applicant does not file this form, your application would not process further, because this is the form for request for examination. And in our office, the officers do the examination. And when the office get this form, it is filed by the applicant, then only this application will move forward for the examination procedure. Okay, so these are the some major forms. And you can refer first schedule of the patent rules 2003 as amended for all the forms, and fee details. Okay, fee details. Do you want to see the fee details? Means I'll have to stop sharing it, and then for a minute I'll stop to share it. Is it okay, Deepa madam? Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be sharing the fee schedule that I wanted to show. You should know that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. And you can also tell about the course which your office is offering on this.
Yeah. That I'll be telling in the last. Mm, yeah. Are you able to see the screen? The screen is visible to all of you? Okay, fine. Yeah. So this is the fee schedule. It is given on IP India website also, and in the patent rules 2003, that it describes everything. See, number of the relevant forms like form 1, and there are 2 procedures like e-filing and physical filing. And the natural person is like individual, means if the person itself is coming to file the application. And other than natural person, others means like company and institutions like this. Okay, so if the natural person is coming, then the fee is 1600. If the specification pages, the specification what you are writing up your invention is 30 pages, and the claims, what is the boundary of the invention, if claims are 10 and 30 pages, then the fees is this much. And for each extra sheet, fees is this 160, and for each claim it is this. Means I'm just telling you about right now. For the natural person, you can look all over. Means later on you can just go through this fee schedule and you can check what are the fees. And for that form 18, These are the various Form 18 forms given here. Like Form 18, the fees is 4,000. So approx for basic filing, the fees may be the 4,000 plus 1,600. It can be 5,600 approx. But it is if you are just filing the 30 pages of specification or claims, and they are subject to certain complying of certain other conditions. So you can just go through in this fee schedule. Okay, it describes everything, whatever you want regarding the fees, and see at last page, yeah, it describes the list of forms, and these are the form numbers, and even it has mentioned also okay, what are the sections relevant to that form, like section 754 135 relevant to form 1. So you can read that section and you can understand that okay, while filing the form 1, what I need to do, it has specified in the rule and section. So these are approx, there are approx 30 forms has been given. So just I have given an overview about it, and you can just go through it. I'm minimizing this window, and again I'm sharing my PPT, and we were here. Okay, I hope it is visible to all of you. And right now what we have seen, the major forms for filing the patent application and the fee details in the fee schedule. You can refer the first schedule. But now you know what are the forms and what is the fee and how you can file. There are two ways: offline filing and online filing. For offline filing, what you need to do, you can submit the hard copy of the forms in the appropriate patent office. And what are the appropriate patent office? Patent office Mumbai, patent office Chennai, patent office New Delhi, and Kolkata. And in that table, the territorial jurisdiction has been given, has been taken from the Patent Act only. Territorial jurisdiction, in for filing the application in Patent Office Mumbai, the states of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Goa. These are the territorial jurisdiction. It means that the person who wants to file the patent application, it means he belongs to the Maharashtra and Gujarat or Goa, he can file the patent application in Patent Office Mumbai. If he is from Andhra Pradesh, so he can file the patent application in Chennai. So in this type, you can file the patent application through hard copy. The next one, the second one is the online filing. For online filing, this is the website. It is very useful website, ipindia.nic.in. You need to click on it, and you will be getting this website. And here, one section is given like comprehensive e-filing. And again, I'll take one. Wait a minute, okay. I'll be sharing the screen. Okay. Yeah, is it visible to all of you, the patent website, IP India website? Are you listening, guys?
Yes, yes, ma'am. It's visible and
Okay.
audible also.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I hope you all are listening to me. And this is the IP India website.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and here it has given that this comprehensive e-filing, you need to click on it. When you will click on it, there is one tab, e-filing patents. You can go and you can click on it, and it will reach to the next window. This is the online filing portal, e-filing of patent application. You need to enter the username, password, captcha, and for that you need a class second and class third signature also. A user guide is also given. You can just read that guide. How can you file the patent application? What is given? So these are the things that you need to explore before filing the online application. I cannot demonstrate here right now. So one more thing I wanted to show you, that in patent section, there is one section that is administration. You can just go on to that, click on forms and fees. When you will click on it, you will get this window, okay? And here everything is given, like the first fee schedule, what I have shown you right now. This is the fee schedule, what I have shown you. You can just go into it, you can see all the fees, whatever given, application, and these are the different forms, what I was talking about, uh, various forms like form 1, 2, 3, 5. When you open it, it will be open like this. See, like this is the form 1. You can just go through this website, you can explore it, and it's very useful. And here many things has been given, like public search, you can perform the public search. There is manual guidelines is given, many controllers decisions are uploaded here, and design is there, trademark. You can explore this website. Now again I'll go to my PPT. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah, again I come to this slide, that IP India website. I just wanted to show you how can how can all of you can explore this website. And this describes the how can you apply for the patent application through online, that I have explained you. And it requires the digital signature of class second and class third, that is must. Now, what I can say, like you have filed the patent application, whether through online mode or through offline mode, and this application comes to the office. So what happens with your application in the office, that I am going to tell you, that what is the patent application processing in our patent office. So when the application for patents filed by the applicant and the office receives it, there is one section, that is rec section in the office, which screens the files, and it classifies the patent application, screening and classification of the patent application. Are you guys listening to me?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am. Yes,
Yes?
ma'am.
All the
Yes.
all
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is, I guess you all are not sleeping and
No,
active.
not at all, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah, we have
No.
students as well as faculty on this meet right now.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, that's
we are
fine. Yeah.
listening, madam.
Okay, okay. So application for patent files by the applicant, when it comes to our office, then it is screened and classified. And how it is screened, that the office checks the subject matter, whether the invention relates to the atomic energy or it relates to the defense purpose. So if by the screening, the office finds that if it is related to atomic energy, the office referred the application to the atomic energy department. And if it finds that the invention relates to defense purpose, so it refers the application to the DRDO, Defense Research Organization. And meanwhile, the application which are not related to atomic energy, not related to defense, so these applications are classified on the basis of different field of invention. There are more than 10 fields of invention. So these application classified on the basis of that, like computer science, biotechnology, mechanical, electrical, chemical, more than 10 field of inventions are there. And accordingly, these applications are classified. After the classification, the publication of application is carried out after 18 months. After 18 months, publication is there. And if the application what the office has referred to the Department of Energy and DRDO, and meanwhile, if their opinion has also come, and if the invention does not relate to atomic energy and it does not relate to defense, so it will also come under the publication. After publication of the application is allotted to the various examiners according to the field of invention, because there are expertise with the field of expertise. There are many examiners. Like I am from the biotechnology field, so there are examiners from the different fields, like computer science and mechanical, chemical, many fields. So according to their field, the application goes to them. If the application has been classified in the biotechnology group, so it will go to the biotech examiner. And when the examiner receives that application, so what he does with that application, the examination part. And what comprises the examination? Examination comprises of two steps, that is formal examination and the technical examination. Formal examination means the check of formality. Formality checks is done. Like what kind of formality checks? All the forms and the fees, every details, whatever you have submitted is correct or not. If there is anything, objection is raised by the examiner. Whatever is there, whether you have submitted this form or not, whether you have submitted the correct fees or not, everything is raised by the examiner. This is the formal part. Now the technical examination, what he does he just read your specification and what is the invention and what is the technical advance, whether it is there or not. What is your invention? He just compare with the prior art. Means what I have given you in earlier slide, that you need to perform the patent search engine and non-patent search engine. Likewise, the examiner also perform the search for finding out the prior art, whether your invention is already present in the prior art or not. So this is the thing that you need to, the examiner need to do at examination stage. And when he finds some prior art, he does the analysis how the filed invention is not novel or inventive. If it is not comprising of inventive step, so how it is, and he just make the report. If it is not novel inventive, if it is novel inventive, he does not raise the objection. And likewise, section 3, examiner looks for section 3 also. There are certain other sections like section 10, 4, so many sections are there. So does the examination according to the Patent Act, whatever the requirements and the compliance of the Patent Act. So according to that, he make the first examination report. And then it is the controller send the first examination report to the applicant by a mail. And when an applicant receives the first examination report and he goes through the examination report, okay, these are the things what I need to comply with. Is it in his capacity or not? Means whether he can comply it or not. If he can comply it, so he just give the reply, whatever it is from their side, he just make a reply and he files the reply in the patent office. Then again, after filing this reply, again examination has been carried out has done on this reply of the applicant. And if again some certain objections has been find out, the examiner find out certain objections, so controller fix one hearing. If everything is fine, everything is complied, then the patent is granted. If everything is complied according to the requirements of patent act. But if there are certain things what has not been complied according to patent act, so these objection further sent to the applicant through a hearing notice, and the hearing is fixed. It can be done through a VC mode or a video conferencing mode, or it can be done in a physical mode. In the hearing, the applicant or his agent submit his submissions, hearing submissions. Okay, what are there? What is his reply regarding all these things? And after that, he files in his hearing submission in a written format after 15 days. After that, controller again uh, go through this hearing submission. He just analyze each and everything, every aspect of the invention, his reply. He considered each and everything, the patent act rules and everything, and then he decides the case whether it should be granted or not. He decides the case. So after that, this grant or refusal happens after all these procedures. So this is all what happens in the patent offices, Indian patent offices, when the application comes, the screening, classification, and the publication, and then after publication, it is allotted to the examiner, and what examiner does, then it comes to the controller, and then what controllers do. So these are the various steps of the examination. So this is all about patent, what we have seen, what is the requirements of patentability, the patent filing procedure, and we have seen the patent application processing in the. Now I'll move forward towards the trademark, that is the next intellectual property right. Uh, what is a trademark? Trademark, mark. Okay, so it is a sign capable of distinguishing the goods or services of one enterprise from those of the other enterprises. What it can be? It can be name, symbol, logo, slogan, letters, words, sound, or their combination that gives unique identity to a product or service. Why it is important, why it is there is need to take the trademark registration for certain names or logo, because it builds the public goodwill and brand reputation. It assures the customers about the quality of goods or services. So that is why the trademark registration is important for creating good brand reputation. And what is the term of trademark is, it is for 10 years, and infinite renewals can be done every 10 years each. Okay, I'll be showing some examples of the trademark that are different examples like Nike, Amazon, Apple, Coca-Cola. These are very famous trademarks, and Google, Puma, Tata, McDonald's. So whenever we see these marks only somewhere, so we can assume, we can judge that okay, this is the Apple phone. Even if my mobile, even if it is other mobile, okay, it is some Redmi ka mobile, and if I'll put the cover of the Apple, so nobody will be able to find out by seeing only that whether it is an Apple ka mobile or some other mobile, because it is the mark. So for copying it, for excluding the others, for copying the same mark for same product, the trademark registration is very much important. So that even if somebody is copying your logos and somebody is copying the name, so you can file infringement suit for that. Even if you have not registered your any mark of your business, and it is very famous, and somebody is copying it, and he is just taking advantage of that your mark for him or her, so what will happen? You would not be able to do anything. But if you have already registered your trademark in trademark registration act, So you can at least sue him. How can you copy? It is mine. I have created this. This is the logo of my company. So this is the thing what you need to check. And how to indicate your trademark application has been filed, so it is indicated like TM, and if it has only when registered, it can indicate it as R under circle. Now I'll move towards the design part. And what is design? Design is only the appearance of any product. Okay, so it is for the product protection of ornamental or aesthetic aspect of the product. Design makes the product attractive and appealing and does increase the commercial value. That is why designs are very important, because it attracts the people. By seeing only we can see that, okay, wow, it's very beautiful, it's very appealing, so it increases the commercial value. And designs are judged solely by the eyes. And what I can say, what I can give you, the design of the pen. Okay, there are various different kinds of pens are coming in the market and with various design. So you can take the registration on the design itself, because if somebody is copying, this is just for the example, if somebody is copying your design and he is selling the different product, means that he is just decreasing the quality of product. Okay, the design is the same what you have created, and in that the quality is not the same, so your business would decrease, your brand reputation would decrease. So that is why if you have created some design for a specific product which is giving commercial value, which is increasing the commercial value of your product, so definitely it should get registered under Design Act. The term of the design is 15 years. After registration, after 10 years, you can renew it for further next 5 years. These are the certain example of design. Design of an article. You can see there are various beautiful designed bottles are there, different designs of watches, there are different designs of pen is there, ring and cycle. Even design registration can be taken for the sets, design of set of articles. So set means a number of articles of the same general character ordinarily sold together or intended to be used together, all bearing the same design. Okay, so you can see the example like teacup set and the sofa set and this necklace set. So it does not mean that, means you can register under Design Act as a set also if you are creating a design of that. It does not mean that if you are taking a separate design register for the earring and separate design register for the necklace. If it is coming under a set, it is completely as a set, it looks like a set, then it can be registered as a set, design of set of articles. So what is this? Anybody would tell me? Even in the chat box you can post what it is. You can unmute, or anybody can tell me what it is. Yes, Lakshman. Yeah, it is Harpika bottle. And the second one, what it is? Yes, Colleen.
It is Colleen.
Amish.
Colleen.
Yeah, Amish. Yeah, that's great. So I have not written anything on that things on the Harpic bottle and the Colleen bottle. I have not written, even if you have identified it. Yes, it is a Harpic bottle and it is Colleen bottle. So how it can happen? How did you recognize it? Because the design of this product. Means we are very much aware from the design, even if after closing the eye हम लोग इस बॉटल को पकड़ेंगे तो we can feel that yes, it is a Harpic का bottle. ऐसा डिजाइन, इतना different design, और these are the recognition for these products. So because so this kind of design should be registered, because somebody can take the advantage of this design. The other person, the third person, can take the advantage of this design, and he can use the same design, and he can reduce the quality of the product for decreasing the market value of your product. So this is the importance of design registration. Now I'll move towards the copyright. What is copyright? It is an exclusive legal right granted to a creator on expression of an idea. Expression of an idea means, suppose you are today you are thinking that, okay, I want to write one poem, and you are thinking the line of the poem in your mind. Everything is there in your mind. Okay, I'll write this line, and then after that I'll write this line, and you have just make all the poem. Okay, I'm going to write it. So till the time it is in your mind, it is not expressed, it cannot be copyrighted. Okay, for the copyright protection, it should be expressed. Means whatever idea is in your mind, it should come outside on the paper. Then it can be copyrighted. So when you write the poem on the paper, so it is the expression of your idea. Whatever you are getting that idea. So it is the expression of that idea. So it can be copyrighted. So copyright is an exclusive legal right granted to the creator on the expression of an idea. And the copyright owner has the right to reproduce, translate, perform, distribute, and publicly display the work, etc. For what the copyright can be taken, like for the literary works, paintings, photographs, drawings, films, music, choreography, and sculptures. And what is the term of protection? That is lifetime of author plus 60 years. For what? It is for the literary work, dramatic, musical, and artistic work. 60 years from the date of publication. For what? It is for cinematographic film and sound recordings. So this is all about copyright. And now I'll move towards the geographical indication. And before before explaining this, what is invaluable treasure of incredible India, I would like to share one video regarding this, and you can watch that video. You'll have some idea. I'll have to stop presenting this, and then I'll be sharing the another video. Yes. Are you able to see the video? Is it visible to all of you?
No, it's video is not playing. It's not visible.
It's not visible.
Yeah. Okay. It started.
It's started.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, is it visible?
No, ma'am. It's not visible.
It's not visible. Okay. Yes, I think so. It's not visible. Again, I'll try. Okay. Ma'am, not visible?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
Video is not play. It's not started.
Okay. Let me share the screen. And let me share.
Yeah. You can try, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, I try. Stop presenting. And is it visible now, madam?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Okay, that's fine.
Ah, yeah. Chandan, sorry. Ma'am, the video is not having sound.
Hello, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So I hope you all must have enjoyed this video and you might have got some idea related to GI. Okay, so what is GI? It is a
Ma'am, the
geographical.
video did have sound.
Yes.
The video didn't have sound. We could
Yeah,
not
it
hear it.
had.
We could not hear it.
You could not hear it. You should have told me.
I
Uh,
said once in between.
okay, I no, I
Yeah,
don't have
once
idea.
I mentioned in between.
You should have mentioned it to me that whether you were listening to me.
I said it, ma'am, once in between.
Okay, maybe
Yeah, yeah.
I was not able to hear
It's
it.
okay, ma'am.
Okay, so what is a GI? It is a geographical indication and that identifies a product that have a specific geographical origin and possesses a qualities or a reputation that are due to that origin. So product must come from the particular geographical territory as you have seen in the video. I don't know means if you have not heard it. So it uses a name link to a particular geographical nature of the territory and GI tag increases why GI is required because it increases the market value of goods and it boosts the export also and it preserves the cultural identity. It preserves the cultural identity. So these are some examples of the GI like Darjeeling tea, Makrana marble, Ratlami सेब, Kanchipuram silk. We know all these things by name itself कि ये दार्जिलिंग का ही tea है. So this is how the things get famous and it gets reputation from the geographical origin and the that particular geographical territory. The government from there they can take this GI registration for that product. It boosts the this export also. And these are certain other geographical indication. This is Solapuri Chadar, Mahabaleshwar Strawberry, Ratnagiri Alfonso, and this is Kolhapur Jaggery, Kolhapur Ka Chappal, and Solapur Pomegranate, Nagpur Ka Orange, Nashik Grapes. These are very famous GIs. So this is all about various intellectual property rights and now I'll just sum up the validity of different intellectual property rights in this table. This table, it is showing that different IPRs, like what is patent maximum protection, it is 20 years, and every year the applicant has to pay a renewal fee for getting it renewed, which is mandatory. And the act applies for the patent is the Patent Act 1970, amended in 2005. For design, it is 15 years, and after 10 years, for next 5 years, you can renew it. And the act applicable is the Design Act. For trademark, it is a lifelong, and after every each 10 years, it can be renewed. Like GI also is for lifelong, and after 10 years, you can renew it. And the act applicable is Trademark Act for the Trademark Act 1999, and for the GI, the act is Geographical Indication of Goods Registration and Protection Act 1999. So I guess all the intellectual property I have summed up. And now further, I want to show you one video that is IP is everywhere. Means you can see from this video that how we can see from the morning to the night, from the home to the outside, how IP is everywhere. And for that also, I need to share it and let's see. Stop presenting and this is Is it visible, madam, now? Deepa,
Yes.
madam, is it visible?
The
No?
screen is blank, ma'am, of the video. It's not. Okay,
No,
it started.
madam.
Yeah. Started.
It started?
Yeah, I'll see if there's sound. We'll check.
Okay, maybe screen is getting shared. Madam, right now?
No, ma'am, it's blank. Screen is blank.
What's going on? I don't know. Not getting shared. Ma'am, now?
Yeah, we can see, but there's no sound, ma'am.
Right now, are you able to listen it?
No,
No audio.
No sound?
no sound, ma'am. It's playing, but
No.
there's no sound.
Okay. I don't know. How should I share it? And then I'll have to leave it if it is not getting shared. Let's see.
No problem.
I'll try once more. If even if it is not shared, then you can leave it. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Are you able to hear the sound?
No,
Sound is audible to you?
no, ma'am, it's not audible. किधर करो कर? What she has to do? Ma'am, it's not audible. We can see, but it's not audible.
Ma'am, are you able to hear it?
No, ma'am, it's not audible.
Not audible. Okay, I don't know what's going on, and I'm not able to find out what
You can
is
speak
it.
from there. I'll remove
What's
that sound.
happening?
Yes, the PPT you need to share to
Hmm.
use the video in the PPT. Manually you can.
Yeah, because it is in PowerPoint. So just,
Maybe I don't know what is there. That
Just put your video in the
I'm so sorry that
it's okay, ma'am.
I don't know why. Yeah, I'll have to check it later. Yes. So now my PPT is visible. Is it? My PPT is visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, PPT is visible.
PPT is visible. Okay. Yeah, so sorry for that. You were not able to hear the voice and sound. Like, so IP is everywhere. If you have seen the video, so might be without sound also. You might have guessed that how on daily basis that guy is showing the every IP that he is getting. Okay, so IP is everywhere. That I wanted to show. And so all the intellectual property rights I have covered it. Now in this slide I am showing you the official structure that all the offices of different like patent, trademark, geographical indication, copyright, and RG and IPM, these all comes under the CGPDTM, that is Controller General of Patent Design and Trademarks. And the patent office are situated at 4 locations: Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai. And design office is only in Kolkata. Like trademark registry, it is in 4 locations, and plus Ahmedabad also, like Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, and Ahmedabad. GI registry is only in Chennai Patent Office, and copyright registry is in Delhi Patent Office. And this is the RGNIIPM, that is Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property and Management. It is situated in the Nagpur, which conducts the various training in the intellectual property field. So this is all about my presentation, and I want to now take a quiz for all of you. So don't be scared. If you have heard, this is a quiz for me only, that I have delivered the matter to you or not, and I hope so that you are going to give the answers for this quiz. And if somebody wants to tell the answer, he or she can unmute, and can tell the answer, or I guess they can post in the chat box. What will be the right, Deepa madam, you suggest me? The answers can be posted in the chat box, or the individual can give after unmuting themselves. Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Deepa madam. Yeah. So what will be the good choice? Answers in the chat box, and these participants can unmute them and can tell the answers.
Chat box, ma'am. We'll
Chat
read
box?
it.
Yeah. Okay. So you all can post the answers in the chat box. Okay.
Yeah.
And you will enjoy this question hours if you have already heard the presentation. Okay. Which type of IP protects the painting by an artist? Copyright, geographical indications, patents, designs, and trademarks. And, yes, am I getting the answers? Anybody? Which type of IP protects the painting by an artist? Copyright, geographical indications, patents, design, and trademarks. Yeah, Preeti. Preeti has given the answer. And it's a right answer, Preeti. Very good. Awesome. Yeah.
Amy Rajan has also given.
Then the next question is, what protects the intellectual property created by fashion designers? Copyright, geographical indications, patents, designs, and trademarks. What protects the intellectual property created by fashion designers? Fashion designers, if they create something, so what protect it? Copyright, GI, patents, design, trademarks. Yeah, Lakshmiman. Yeah, that's a right answer. Yeah, Soham has given the answer. Yeah, design. That's correct.
Rupit,
Awesome,
you have raised
guys.
your hand. You can post
Awesome,
anything in the chat box if you have a query. Rupit, you can post it
Okay,
in the
and
chat
what
box.
protects the advanced disc brake for the bike developed by the inventors? Advanced disc brake. Copyright, geographical indication, patents, design, and trademark. Advanced disc brake. What protects it? Answers. What protects it? The advanced disc brake for the bike. Yes. Lakshmi Mandi Mantri. Yeah, you have given the right answer. That is the patent. That's great. You have heard my presentation completely. That's great. Okay, right. The next question is, which of these is a geographical indication? It's very easy. I think so. All of you can give the answer. BMW, Nagpur ka orange. That's great. Yeah, Annie, Kelly, And Amisha, Preeti, that's great. Means GI, you know very well. Okay. So this is right answer. And what does a trademark protect? What does a trademark protect? An invention, a work of art, logos, names and brands, and a secret formula. What does it protect? Trademark, logos. That's great, Preeti. Lakshman, Varsha. That's great. Nice. Right answers. Now, how long can a patent last? 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, and 60 years. How long a patent lasts? Go through. Yes, that's the right answer. Kelly, Pritesh, Soham, and Varsha, 60 years. nahi hai. Any, that's, yeah, 20 years. Whoever given the 20 years, that is the right answer for the patent. It is 20 years. Okay. Now, hear it properly, the question: if a company develops a new technology that improves its main product, what type of intellectual property can they use to stop others from copying their invention or copying their invention? Company develops a new technology, so just copyright, GI, patent, design, and trademark. What it can be, how the company will protect his invention, of their invention. New technology that improves its main product. No, no. Soham, correct. Tima, correct. Soham, Tima has given the patent. Yes, it is the correct answer. I have explained in my presentation many a times. I have used inventions, inventions. All the inventions can be protected by the patent. And here in this question, if a company develops a new technology, okay, technology that improves its main product, तो उसके अपने ही product को improve कर रही, तो there is a product. And so what type of intellectual property, what you will, why I am asking these questions? If you are making a product, so are you going to file a trademark for that product? आपने उसके ऊपर कुछ टेक्निकली एडवांसमेंट करके कुछ काम किया है, एक नया प्रोडक्ट बनाया है, तो you should know that what you need to file, whether you need to file the patent or the trademark. So that is why these questions are there. So you need to file a patent for this kind of inventions. Okay. Next question. Imagine a cricketer sets up his own company to sell his own range of clothes. What type of intellectual property can he use to show that the clothes are made by his company? I guess सबने आंसर देना चाहिए. Copyright, GI, patent, design, trademark. Clothes are made by his company. How can he show? क्या लेना पड़ेगा? What type of intellectual property can he use to show that the clothes are made by his company? Copyright, GI, patent, design, trademark. Yeah, Tima, correct. Tima, correct. And Amisha, yes. Yes, trademark. That's because logo, through the logo means imagine a cricketer sets up his own company. अपना खुद का ही कंपनी बनाए to sell his own range of clothes. मतलब उसके ही clothes सब जगह फेमस होने चाहिए. उसमें क्या होगा, एक लोगो होगा ना, कुछ उसी से तो पता चलेगा कि ये उसी कंपनी का प्रोडक्ट, उसी कंपनी का क्लोथ है. तो what type of IP can he use to show that the clothes are made by his company? हम कैसे समझते हैं कि ये कहाँ का प्रोडक्ट है? तो हम लोगों से समझते हैं. एंड इट कैन बी प्रोटेक्टेड बाय ट्रेडमार्क. आपको कैसे पता चलता है कि ये W का कुर्ता है तो ये बीबा की कुर्ती है, तो like any others. So these are the related to clothes. Yeah, trademark. Great answer, Vadivel, Kelly, nice. And the next one is, if you write an original story, what type of intellectual property gives you the right to decide who can make and sell copies of your work? Original story. कौन सा right decide करेगा कि yes, the second person can sell? And yes, great, Deepa madam, yes, Soham, Lakshman, Varsha, Shashank, Manisha, great, right answer, very good, great guys. Now, this is one activity for all of you, and you have to find out the trademark. The famous trademark is given in this table. I'm expecting more answers. I'll be showing the answers also, but first I want answers from all of you. I'll be giving 1 minute. You have to find out a different trademark and you can post in the chat box. Great. Good. Wow, nice. Great. Very nice. That's great, Varsha. Nice. Ritesh, yeah. Manisha, Soham,
Volkswagen.
Deepa madam, yes. Colleagues. Wow. I guess you people have told me all the answers, whatever is there, and nothing is left. So awesome, guys. Great. You have heard this presentation very well. Yeah, Babul was left, and Shashank has given that answer. Kelly also, and Shwetakshi. Great. Congratulations, guys. All the chances there, and you can check here also. Amul, everything you have given me, all the answers I have received. Amul, Pepsi, Tata, Lux, Dettol, Babool, Bata, Horlicks, Cadbury Link. So this is all about the quiz section, and it was really very nice. And now I'm going to show you certain career opportunities related to IPR, like in government jobs also, and like examiner of patents and design, trademark and copyright, and others. The opportunities related to patent agent, trademark agents, and in patent litigation, and other opportunities in private sectors. And these are the contact details for further training. What I have mentioned in this official structure, that Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property Management is situated in Nagpur, and it conducts various training related to IPR. And you even online, through online mode, through offline mode, they conduct it. You can contact them. This is the email ID, and this is the website that I have shown you, IP India website. You can check, everything is there. So this is all about the presentation of intellectual property right. So thank you everyone. Thanks a lot for listening me patiently, for all your cooperation. So thank you so much. Over to you, Deepa madam. I guess if anybody has any queries, so we can post his question in the chat box.
Yeah. Participants, you can post the questions in the chat box.
All the participants have given answers very nicely. Means, you have heard the presentation. I'm very happy that you were able to give the answers, and that's great. I'm grateful.
Preeti, ma'am, Preeti has asked a question.
Yeah,
Approximately
Preeti.
how long does it take for filing a patent?
How long does it take for filing a patent?
Filing
Or
a patent.
for Preeti, does it for filing or for granting? Means for filing, it's up to the applicant.
So,
Means आप आज आपके पास invention है,
okay,
आप
it's
आज
for
file कर
granting.
सकते.
Ma'am, she says it's for granting once the application
Yeah.
is
It's
gone.
you know, actually it depends on its granting. Yeah, it depends on the pendency in office also, because there are certain timelines. What I have told you, 18 months के बाद तो publication ही होता है. Okay, but there are certain other routes like early publication भी हो जाता है, but there are separate fees is there. You can go through that fee schedule and the forms. So if you want to get your application to early publication, so you have to pay that fees. And there is one expedited route is also there right now for the startups, small entity, and accordingly the fees is different. So right now these routes are there for expediting the application for this for examining the patent application, expediting this. And but it's completely up to the queue in which the file is received by the particular office. So I cannot exactly tell the time how long does it take.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really nice to have you on this online platform here today. And
Okay.
thanks so much for a very enlightening session and sharing information on intellectual property rights, copyright, design, and trademark. I now request Dr. Preeti Pandit to propose the vote of thanks, and then we shall move on to the next session.
Okay.
Yeah, before Preeti takes over, Sapna, it was very
Hello,
nice
ma'am. Yeah.
by you. Yeah, it was a very nice lecture again by you.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you so
They are
much.
joined online also.
Yeah. Even I am
Okay.
feeling very happy
And
that I could
I
see
hope all.
I could see you guys again on the platform. So
Yeah.
it's very good for me also that I'm seeing you again.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Sapna.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So at the end of the first session, I would formally like to thank Mrs. Sapna Narvaria, Assistant Coordinator for Patent and Design, Indian Patent Office, Mumbai, for a very comprehensive session. And personally, I benefited from the patent filing and the entire application process and examination part, which ma'am shared with us. So thanks, ma'am, again on behalf of all of us, all the attendees, for such a wonderful session. And we hope to keep this collaboration active, and we hope to see you soon again, ma'am. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you so much, Preeti. Thank you so much. Great. So should I leave now?
Yes, ma'am, you can leave.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, all of you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So, dear participants, now we will be having the next session of the back lecture series. But before that, I would like to welcome Madam Principal, Professor Vrunda Borkar, to this online platform. And I request you, Madam, to kindly address the function. Hello, ma'am.
Deepa, has Dr. Chodankar joined the session?
I don't think so, ma'am. I don't think so.
Yeah, let him join.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or okay, he has joined already.
Welcome. Yeah. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir. Okay, so we are starting with the second lecture of this impact series, lecture series number 2. And I again welcome you all on this online platform of Dhempe College. I would really appreciate our institution's Innovation Council, which is organizing lot many events, inviting people from different fields, whether it is the people who are already in the innovation, who are entrepreneurs, and it is giving a good idea to all the students about the research, innovation, patenting, as well as if they want to become entrepreneurs. So these all are required at present. Recently, we had a very good lecture by Jayant Sinha, who is from our ministry, central ministry. And it was an eye-opener for us that we have to develop the next generation towards all these concepts. because everybody, that is what he says, is everybody is looking only for government jobs, and which is very difficult. And then the unemployment rate increases. So it is our effort from Dhempe College with Institutions Innovation Council to organize various events and develop, a sense of responsibility amongst the students as well as staff. And we are thankful to Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell, which is, sponsoring such type of events, and we can then, they are helping us to organize this impact lecture series. So now, of course, a formal introduction of Dr. Nandakumar Chodankar will be done, but I welcome you, sir, to today's online meet. Okay, I would have been happy if you are in person. However, I feel that when somebody is online, you reach to more people than you are in offline. That is what has been a blessing in disguise given by Corona to us. Okay, so we are able to, uh, reach to many people in terms of these YouTube videos also. People who have not heard you right now will be able to hear even late evening, and our views go on increasing as the days pass. So it is a very nice platform, sir. And I'm very happy that alumnus of Dhempe College is joining us in this our um, Institutions Innovation Council Impact Lecture Series. So I can thank Deepa for organizing this Impact Lecture Series, and I thank you, sir, for joining us for this series. I can see also Arun Baba Naik also has joined, and many other people have joined from industries also for this lecture. So that shows you can invite, attract a good crowd. Thanks a lot. And Deepa, you may take over.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Under your leadership, the Institution Innovation Council of Dhempe College will definitely achieve greater heights. Now we begin with the next session of the Impact Lecture Series. It gives us immense pride to have Dr. Nandakumar Chodankar, who is an esteemed alumni of Dhempe College, as the guest speaker for this session. I now request Dr. Ramu Murthy, who is the coordinator for the Impact Lecture Series, to introduce Dr. Nandakumar Chodankar to the audience. So please.
Thank you so much, Deepa. Good afternoon, one and all. I have the privilege of introducing our second speaker for today's Impact Lecture Series, Dr. Nandakumar Chodankar, who will be speaking on the topic innovations in research and development. As my colleague Deepa said, it's privileged to have Dr. Nandakumar Chodankar, who's an alumnus of Dhempe College of Arts and Science, having pursued his bachelor's degree in this institution. Dr. Nandakumar Chodankar acquired his PhD in chemical technology from UDCT, which is now currently known as ICT Mumbai. He began his career as the first employee in setting up the Sheksaria Chemicals and rose to become the CEO and the MD of the said company. He is currently the CEO of A Solutions Pharmaceuticals Private Limited, and along with his wife, Dr. Lakshmi Chodankar, who's also the founding promoter of the said company. Prior to this, he was also the CEO of the pharma group of Excel Industries. He's been the chief mentor and executive director to Shasun Pharmaceuticals, president at Watson India, including China and Taiwan, and has been the CEO and managing director of Sheksaria Chemicals Private Limited. He is also a member of several bodies, such as a member of the IPA, the PDA, the IDMA, SPDS and other pharmaceutical associations since many years. Now, over the years, our guest speaker, Dr. Nanda Kumar, has filed several process technology patents for APIs that have been submitted that have been submitted under the industrial sector. He has extensively lectured and trained on quality assurance and management. He has been a national scholar and has been felicitated with several awards and certificates, including an honorary chemical engineering degree. Apart from this, he is also an examiner for a PhD in technology and the MSc thesis. To add to this, I am very privileged to say that our guest speaker for this session, Dr. Nandakumar Chodankar, has been instrumental in setting up a scholarship in this institution, which is his alma mater, Dhempe College of Arts and Science, in the past decade, for students who have excelled in the subject of chemistry at the 12th board exam and have chosen chemistry as a subject at the undergraduate level in this institution. Once again, sir, a very good afternoon to you. Let me welcome you to the session. Yes, sir. It's a privilege to have you here once again on behalf of the institution's Innovation Council at Dhempe College of Arts and Science. I request you now, sir, to take over the session.
Thank you very much for a very long introduction. I must thank the principal for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to present some of my views or some of the views on how R&D can be innovative. So I will start the presentation. The screen. I'll share my screen. Not required. Image 8. How do I? I'm just checking how I can remove the side view of this.
You are visible to them.
Yeah, I know, but how do I remove this? I don't want this. Thank you. Thank you. So now, am I audible to everybody?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I can see Arun Naik also in the screen. Thank you. I'm going to speak briefly on innovation, type and linkage to R&D, development of drug products versus other products, generation of innovative ideas and their protection, decision-making process and creative synthesis, from green ibuprofen process of HPC, then granted patent to a solution for innovative process to manufacture highly pure proof of all. And if time permits, we'll also see an example of sugammadex sodium complex chemistry, which we are following and manufacturing. So key to survival is the innovation, to innovate. And this is what we all take it for granted. Innovation in R&D We believe Indian civilization is one of the oldest civilizations in the world with a rich cultural heritage, a strong tradition of science and technology. She has proactively contributed to science, engineering years before modern labs were even set up. Several theories and techniques discovered by ancient Indians help create medicine and strengthen the fundamentals of modern technology. In recent years, young Indian girls and boys have achieved great results through new startups. Unicorn worth about 330 billion is already there. For developing drug products or drug substances, US FDA guidelines are available, which gives a clear instruction what is to be done and how to get drug products approved. I will say decision making is very important for successful strategy. Now let us look at what is invention. Invention is the creation of new idea or concept. Creativity is the act of converting new and imaginative ideas into reality. Innovation is an improvement of existing of novel idea. Innovation is taking the idea and solving customer pain points and creating values for customer and the company. Innovation may not be novel. Someone may be already practicing it, but may be innovative for you or your organization. You just heard a presentation on patents. Remember that granted patents are protected, but after they have lived their life for 20 years, you can exploit them thoroughly for your advantage. Innovation is practical implementation of ideas that result in introduction, improvement of new goods or services. Now, let us look at different kind of innovations. There are 4 windows here. The first one is incremental innovation, which gradual continuous improvement on existing products and services is incremental. Like you take example of mobile phones. You can remember the first mobile phones which came and how incremental technological advances have taken place. Then comes a sustainable innovation, a significant improvement on a product that aims to sustain the position in the market. Nokia was the first company who was leading the market. Where is Nokia now? Market has been, they could not sustain the technological advances which took place. Apple and Samsung has now the major shares in the mobile field. Third one is disruptive input. Like for example, technology or new business model that disrupts the existing market is disruptive. For example, there are no cameras needed now. Photography has become so simple that every mobile telephone has cameras built in, which are very, very powerful and precise. Everybody has become a photographer. So it has disrupted the market for cameras. And finally, technology breakthrough, high technology breakthrough, radical technology breakthrough that transforms industries and often creates a new market. Mobile phones may become more and more powerful. There may be different way of communication coming up very soon. Cars, for example, petrol to diesel, and now electrical cars. That is also disrupting the market. It is an incremental innovation which has taken place, and it is a radical technology. Who knows? Your car will start running on just water, which is converted into hydrogen. So that is the kind of innovations we are talking about. All type of innovations add value. Innovation is distinguished from creativity by its emphasis on implementation of creative ideas in an economic setting. Successful implementation of creative ideas add value to organization. So, research and development and innovation is the process to develop and commercialize new ideas, implement new processes, or change the way business generates money. It can also be viewed as activity required to keep one's business competitive and sustainable for long term. Again, our theme is key to survival is to innovate. In order to achieve the dream of 5 trillion economy, one has to think out of box for cost cutting, for economic growth, for improving current work, have competitive advantage over other countries and all other industries, capturing opportunities and trends, improving customer performance, improving employee performance and satisfaction. We Indians are known for our approach as Jugaad. Jugaad is not an innovation, but may be converted into one. India's MSMEs are creative, but every creativity may not be an innovation. Creativity needs to be defined, standardized, scaled up, and commercialized. Jugaad style may be good and fast, but it needs to be refining it to add value. Many times, for a short-term gain, MSMEs do not invest for long-term gain. They may not have patience to convert Jugaad into innovation. Some MSMEs, founders may not encourage innovation because they seek guaranteed success and so it never fits into their strategy. Research and development includes activities that companies undertake to innovate and introduce new products and services. It is often the first stage in development process. The goal is typically to take new products and services to market and add value to the company's bottom line. Industries that conduct R&D are mainly pharmaceutical, cosmetic, engineering, semiconductor, software, IT, communication, advertisement companies. So one has to build a strategy, roadmap for execution of innovation through R&D. How? You have to first identify what are the challenges, existing challenges, and what are the opportunities that are there already. Identify them and start thinking of generate ideas for solution. You may come up with number of solutions through brainstorm, and then you need to select solutions from this number of things you have, ideas you have come up with. So invest in R&D after you have selected some of the ideas which you come up with after brainstorming. Now you have to invest into R&D your time and money. Then assemble and review proof of concept. Whatever you have achieved in R&D, you have to assemble the results and have the proof of concept that yes, it can work, and then implement the proven plan. That's the way one has to go. Companies that set up R&D facilities and commit substantial capital estimate the risk and return on investment on their R&D expenditure. That's why the pharmaceutical products, when they are introduced for the first time, are very, very costly. 1,000 times the price later generic drugs come up with. So they recover all that money through initial products commercialization. R&D inevitably involves risk of capital because there is no immediate payoff. Many drugs fail when they are phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3. We'll see that. As more money is invested in R&D, the level of capital risk increases. A few companies may choose to outsource their R&D for a variety of reasons, including size and cost. The word virtual means that you don't have any manufacturing facility, R&D facility, or for that matter, nothing. You just work with your computer or mobile phone. You outsource everything that is you require. You can outsource your research and development. You can outsource your clinical studies. You can outsource to CRO, that is contract research organization, and then you can outsource your manufacturing to contract manufacturing organization. You can also
Dr. Nanda Kumar.
Yes.
Excuse me, Dr.
Yes.
Nanda Kumar.
Yes.
Your slides are not moving.
Not moving.
Slide is only the first slide. The rest slides are not seen. I think you are changing the slides on your side.
Yes.
Yeah, only the first slide is seen.
Okay,
We are
we'll
not
go
able
back.
to see
We'll
your
go back.
slides.
Is it visible now?
Yeah. No.
No.
Click on present.
Is it visible?
Now it is visible. Yeah.
Okay. Just a minute. फोटो भी आ सकते हैं मेरा क्यों नहीं आ रहा है दिख नहीं रहा है उनको दिखेगा Are you able to see now? नहीं दिख रहा है Is this visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I won't go back. The slides are there because
Okay, fine.
I think what I will do is just show the slides. That's all. I won't say anything on those slides. So this is about type of innovations. Then this is the R&D. I talked about this. Is it visible now? Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible. Now the slides are moving.
Thank you. This is regarding the Jugaad, which I talked about, India's specialty. We are specialized in Jugaad. Then roadmap to identify what are the challenges and opportunities that are existing, to generate ideas to overcome them, solutions, then brainstorm and select solutions, invest in R&D, and then whatever research you have done and whatever solutions you have received, assemble them together for the concept, proof of concept, and then once you are satisfied with proof of concept, or you can start test marketing and implement the proven plan. Now, as I said, that companies that set up R&D facilities and commit substantial capital estimate the risk and ROI on their
Mr. Pednekar, Purushottam Pednekar, kindly unmute your mic.
Okay.
Sorry, sir, you can continue.
As more money is invested in R&D, the level of capital risk increases. A few companies may choose to outsource their research, as I said, virtual companies, which do not have anything of their own. They don't have manufacturing facilities. They don't have R&D laboratories. They outsource everything, like to CROs for contract research organization, manufacturing to contract manufacturing organization, clinical studies to again CROs who are doing clinical studies. So you don't own anything, but you only own the product. You even get your product marketed from marketing companies. So that is one kind of business which you can do virtually on your mobile phone or computer with a number of team of people who manage this organization, contract organization. So R&D distribution may be approximately estimated as salaries contribute to about 26%, overhead contribute to about 16%, materials about 16%, consumable and supplies about 15%, capital spending about 13%, and outsourcing about 14%. This is just an example, does not mean that this is what happens in the industry. Now, as we say that there is the expenditure in R&D is very high. Companies spend billions of research and development to produce the newest, most sought after products. According to published reports, companies incurred the highest research and development expenditure in 2020. Like for example, Amazon spent about 42.7 billion US dollars and was granted new patents, 2,244 new patents in 220. And their patents included advancement in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cloud computing. Alphabet Incorporation spent about 27.6 billion, Huawei spent about 22 billion, Microsoft spent about 19.3 billion in the research and development, Apple about 18.8, Samsung about 18.8, Facebook spent about 18.5 billion in 2020. Pharma put together spent about 198 billion in 2020 and 212 billion in 2021, probably because of COVID factor. Expected expenditure growth by 2023 is 230 billion only in pharma sector. The gross R&D overall spending of 10 companies is China about 621, US about 598, Japan 182, Germany about 127, and India is expected to spend about 93.48 billion, which is going to be more than the South Korea, which is spending about 91.47 billion. And Russia spends about 60.67 billion, United Kingdom about 51.61 billion. So we have overtaken all these companies in research and development spending. Brazil about 38.15. Global R&D forecast spending is expected to be 2,440 billion. So you can understand how much money goes into research and development to develop new products and new. So what kind of innovation in process development can take place? Process development work in the regulated pharmaceutical industry leads to efficient, reproducible, economical, safe, and environmentally friendly synthesis of active pharmaceutical ingredients. As a scientist chemist, I am going to talk more on chemistry that you can imagine. Process development is strategy via which manufacturing process is identified. This is called as route scouting for a drug substance or drug products from an early stage through scale-up, process optimization, and tech transfer to commercialization. To achieve success, pharma needs a team of development scientists, engineers, technologists, cost accountants, medical professionals to understand and control the process used to make diverse range of drug products. During the early development stage, one must anticipate and identify manufacturing steps which could be responsible for probable quality risks to the process and drug, and find solution to control these variables before commercialization. This has to be done during innovative research. Process development studies for active pharmaceutical ingredients provide the basis for process development, process validation, continuous process optimization, selection of materials, reagents, equipment, solvents, process safety controls, and identification of critical process parameters, chemical compatibility, cost, scale-up, and environmental challenges, documentation are a few of the important elements. Advanced process development of API is carried out by development scientists who devise new production processes, refine existing ones, convert them into continuous mode to achieve process optimization and safety. Technologists devise online controls, automation for production process and ensure consistent quality. This happens during your process research or development. Process optimization encompasses widely varying activities where principal goal is to reduce costs by eliminating process steps, improving yields, shortening cycle times, and producing higher quality drug substances or drug products. Process validation is establishing documented evidence which provides a high degree of assurance that a specific process will consistently produce a product meeting its predetermined specification and quality characteristics. This applies to any product, not only for pharma, it applies to even cosmetic or any product which you want to manufacture consistent quality. Selection of new route of synthesis, or you have to innovate the route of synthesis. This is what one can do during as innovation in R&D to reduce. Why you want to have a new route of synthesis? To reduce the number of unit operation, to think of in situ reaction, avoid product isolation, drying, recycling, counter current principles, using recycling counter current principle, to reduce waste generation and improve yield, use of catalyst to yield desired isomers, introduce stereoselectivity, use of enzymatic technology, selective ester hydrolysis by using lipase enzyme, selective stereoselectivity by using catalyst and enzymes. Control of impurity formation through process parameters. Do not allow impurity to form. Precipitation of saturated is prior process knowledge. You need to have prior knowledge which you learn in colleges and then through Google search. You accumulated knowledge during your study, during your research. And when saturated knowledge is precipitates, it is called as intuition. Unit operations, each manufacturing steps and equipment has unit operation. Design of reactors, crystallizers, polishing, purification operation, isolation by filters. One can use membrane filters, continuous layer separation, again, continuous precipitators, dryers, continuous drying, size reduction, and final packing on it, line packing. Recycling of solvents, second crop can reduce your cost of manufacturing. Process intensification is another way of innovating your process. Use of novel equipment and apparatus, not just regular reactors or tanks. You can come up with novel equipment which can do multiple things at a time, multiple operations at a time. Adoption of technologies from other industries like food and beverages, enzyme, plasma, fractionation, wastewater processing industries, petrochemical reaction, high assurance, high pressure cryogenic reaction. You can learn from all these different industries and apply it in the pharma or API manufacturing processes. Process stream composition that are associated with upstream, which is the initial step, and downstream, which is the isolation of purification, later steps. Solve technical challenges through innovation. You can get guidance from experts, engineers. There are guidelines which are available. There are technologies who can help you. And you need to think out of box. Regulatory challenges. When you come up with something different than what was already accepted by the regulators, you always end up with challenges. You need to think of elimination of carryover impurities, simplification of cleaning processes, use process analytical technology for process and critical process parameters online, demonstration for critical quality attributes control, performance characteristics, and validation. So there are multiple impact or variation of process drifts. Process variables may change simultaneously and make it difficult to evaluate their combined impact on the quality. Generate data to such a drift and their effect on quality parameters using risk investigation approach, root cause investigation, and root cause analysis. There are multivariate effects on the process. Statistical process control, technology to classify and detect the drift can be used. Drift impact may be minimized. Drift is deviation from what you are wanting to achieve. Adequate, meaningful trending data. You prepare statistical data and find out where what parameter is really affecting or drifting from your process requirement. Shorter cycles for preventing maintenance, detecting and quickly correcting process drifts or deviations to minimize the quality impact. Review other parameters which may have indirect impact. How can this be done? You have to clearly specify control objectives. Variable may change continuously or at a discrete intervals. Identify them. You want to do that. Input variables like manipulated variables like raw materials you are using, the specification of raw material can change, your flow rate can change, quantities can change. And then disturbance variables like you are controlling temperature or pressure or flow rate. The output variables are measured variables, which are again like specification, quality, consistency, particle size. And there are certain unmeasured variables which are not known to you, like unknown impurities in the product. They're minor, but they are there. Constraints classify as they are hard constraint or soft constraint. Operating characterization, batch, continuous or semi-continuous process which is being followed. Safety, environment, and economic consideration is a very, very important subject during selecting a process, developing a process, and finalizing the process. You need to have a control structure. You have developed the process, but then you need to have controllers to have consistent quality of the process. You either use feedback or feed forward. Now, in the process, you know that there are inputs like manipulated inputs, as I said, raw material quality, quantity, the flow rate, number of reagents which are added in the process once they undergo it. This is one step, say it undergoes processing, and then you get measured output, quality, particle size, crystal size, polymers, and there are certain unmeasured outputs also. When you talk about continuous, then you have a controller for the manipulated inputs. All inputs can be controlled, and which gives a signal which is measured outputs, and accordingly adjust the inputs. So there can be some disturbance inputs, which are again measured, and there is a feedback. So control representation can be done in this slide, as I have shown in this slide. Different kind of controllers there between PID controller, PLC controller, programmable logic controller, AIM, microprocessor-based electronic device for implementing logarithms and implementing control logarithms, time domain, Ziegler-Nicholas tuning. That is, you have a control strategy, it's a controller, final control device, you are having process, measurement device. So operating model can be continuous, batch, or semi-continuous, as I said. Operating conditions can be startup, study operation, control shutdown, and emergency shutdown. Monitoring can be maintenance or optimization. Let's see what one can do. So you have a reactor which you are doing the reaction. So it can be operator control, that everything is managed by the operator. Human beings have tendency of making mistakes, errors. So you go for automatic control, where there are alarms, interlocks, data logging, which you can do the trending later to find out what deviated. Then automatic tuning, which if something deviates, it automatically brings back the process in the required state or steady state operation. Because sequencing, programmable logic control, field monitoring. Continuous flow reactors are almost always operated at steady state because they are automatically controlled. There are three types of reactors: continuous third tank reactors, the plug flow reactor, and the PAT reactor. These are the reactors which are used in the industry. A few of the parameters can be monitored and controlled using PAT, process analytical technology, online instruments, which are having cause effect control. In API manufacturing plants, many of these utilities, flow rates, etc., are controlled using SCADA PLC, which can minimize drifts in the set process parameters. Crystal growth, shape of crystal, polymorphs can be monitored and controlled using modern instruments like NIR, Raman spectra, X-ray, FBRM, etc. I will show you some of this instrument later. However, a time lag between testing and monitoring signal generation can still be there, and it can still result in drift or deviation or inconsistencies. Now, presently, microflow reactors have become of great attraction because you can do your reaction in a very small volume in a microflow reactor, where reactants get mixed and react, and then you get the product. So it's very, very safe because you're not handling large volume of product. Especially the exothermic reaction can be done very well in microflow reactors, because even if something goes wrong, even if explosion takes place, the quantity involved is so small that it's not going to affect anybody. Continuous unit operation use of pad is required for microflow reactors. Conversion of batch process into continuous mode process with advantage that you can use flow chemistry, microprocessors, especially exothermic and hazardous runaway type of reaction, are using micro reactors presently. They have smaller footprints, decreased volume, high throughput and yield, safety and cost efficiencies, how to control less human resources. Recirculation and recycling is done through microprocessors. Membrane separation to replace filtration, distillation, crystallization. So this can run in a sequence or parallelly. Use of counter-current flows of wash buffers in continuous counter-current, tangential chromatography and continuous precipitation. This is something which is going to have a challenge from the regulators. You have to prove that every time you are able to manage everything systematically and consistently. Let us look at green process for ibuprofen, which is minimum waste generation. BSA recovers, and BSA is Woods Hexalen's company, which is now, of course, BASF. Recovers and recycles waste byproduct from manufacturing process and has virtually eliminated large volume of aqueous salt waste. This patent is now governed by BASF. So let us look at this process. See, it starts from ibuprofen process starts from acetophenol. Isobutyl acetophenol is manufactured from isobutyl benzene using either acetic anhydride, acetyl chloride, aluminum chloride, the Friedel-Crafts reactions, and then it undergoes number of steps, which was followed before this process was patented. In this process, again, isobutyl benzene is acylated, but this time using acetic anhydride and hydrofluoric acid. The acetic anhydride gives you this acetyl group introduction and generates acetic acid as a byproduct, which is recovered. Hydrofluoric acid is also recovered because it is used only as a catalyst. It is anhydrous hydrofluoric acid. Then the reduction of this ketone is done with using nickel and hydrogen. Now this is also a green chemistry because it does not generate anything, it only consumes hydrogen. And then next step is carbonylation using carbon monoxide and palladium as catalyst under high pressure. This is known as carbonylation. So what has happened? The hydrogen in isobutyl benzene has been now replaced with propionic acid, and it does not go through any other hazardous chemistry or generate any hazard. So this is called as atom economy in green synthesis of ibuprofen. This patent is available, and fortunately it has expired now, and you have a challenge, you have an opportunity to exploit this patent to manufacture ibuprofen by using this process commercially. So there is another approach which is being taken, a quality by design, which is Qbd evaluation, understanding, and optimization of the manufacturing process is based on prior knowledge and data on how material attributes, process parameter affect drug substance, critical quality attributes. You must study this in advance. You must know what is it that you are wanting to achieve, what is the quality, what is the particle size, polymorph, stereochemistry. Everything should be known in advance, or your targets. Experiments, simulations, and modeling to identify and confirm the relationship between materials that you use and their attributes and process parameters and drug substance equivalence. Materials may have certain impurities. How do they affect or impact the product which you are manufacturing or process that is being manufactured is very, very important. Analysis and assessment of data to establish appropriate ranges and ideally including establishment of a design space. Design space is shown in a box which you operate within that design space every time you get a consistent product. The use of design of experiment software to support process development studies, reducing the number of experiments needed. If you have, say, 3 parameters, you may have to do multiple experiments. But when you use DOE, this number of experiments can be reduced to minimum. Every parameter need not be separately identified. It can be combination by using design of experiments. Identify the process parameters that are critical and need control. Other parameters may not be critical. Develop a design space and identify the critical quality attributes that have the most significant impact on product. So general approach for product development and marketing is idea generation, as we have seen, idea screening, concept development and testing, marketing the idea generated, then business analysis, product development and test marketing, and finally commercialization. Research and development for new chemical entities is similar to any other product development. First step is to identify compound that has biological activity or target. Drug product development and marketing is similarly step 1, discovery and development. Then there is preclinical studies, which is very, very important and protected by the regulatory authorities. Clinical research, again protected, you have to do it and get a guidance from approval from regulatory authorities. And step 4 is regulatory review. Step 5 is FDA post-marketing safety. After introduction of the product, you need to continuously look at it, what happens. It is not like what Edward Jenner did when there was a smallpox pandemic. He is considered as the founder of vaccinology in 1979. He inoculated 13-year boy with vaccine virus because he noticed and believed milkmaids who had gotten cowpox were protected from smallpox. He took the chance of vaccinating 13-year boy. It will never be allowed in the modern regulatory requirement. There has to be a lot of research, lot of proof before it is tried on human or even for that matter on animals. So what is it that is done? You have to identify the lead or NCA and characterization. Synthetic route development. How can you make it simpler or economical? Feasibility study, and then you need analytical method development and then validation. The process parameter which can deviate or which can fluctuate or variations and optimization, how they can be correlated. You need to prepare standards. Then you have to scale up the process which you have come up with. Then you need to also imagine what can be the troubles which can take place and find methods for that to rectify it. You need to do pre-qualification or engineering batch on a commercial scale, then do the prospective process validation and commercial manufacturing. Simultaneously, when you find the active compound, you carry out animal study, but without consulting the FDA or regulatory authority. Then preclinical, of course, and phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 studies are to be done. Similarly, when you are doing the study, you need to understand how the drug product which you are saying is a new chemical is absorbed, distributed, metabolized, and excreted from the body, its potential benefits and mechanism of action to the person who is using it, then what is the best doses? What is the milligrams or grams of dose which can be satisfying the person who is taking it? Maximum, minimum dose. The best way to deliver the drug, such as mouth or injection, tablet, capsule, or injectable vaccine. Side effects of adverse effect that can often be referred as toxicity needs to be found out before your product even gets a look. How it affects different groups of people, such as gender, race, or ethnicity. Indian may have different reaction to the product than what Africans have or Chinese or Americans have. How it interacts with other drugs and treatments. Because every human being does not take just one drug. They take other drugs for whatever challenges they have. So we need to find out the drug which is being developed, how would it interact with the other drugs? What reaction it can have? Its effectiveness as compared with similar drugs. Because there are similar drugs available in the market, you come up with me too drug, and then you need to understand what is the effectiveness compared to the drugs which are already available. Let's look at the regulatory drug approval process. So you have, this is the industry time. The industry takes time to research and development, synthesis of products, substances, or NCs, new chemical entities. Now, preclinical research is taking this much of time. While that means you have to develop the product, develop number of products, check which product is having activity, then find out. As I said in this slide, I showed you how you reach to this stage of commercial manufacturing. So this is the first stage, animal testing. Now, before even you start animal testing, you need to consult the regulatory authorities. You are a sponsor, and the FDA meetings encourage, FDA encourages you to discuss with them even before you test your product on animals. You have to submit the data which you have done in the laboratory on cells. That can be a short-term animal testing or long-term animal testing. So there is an institutional review boards which allows you to carry out this preclinical research on animal. And then you submit the application with all this data to the regulatory authorities, which is called as investigational new drug submission. So this is what is done when you are doing animal testing, which I showed you just in the previous slide. And then once you are satisfied, once the regulator, you are satisfied the regulator is going to look at this and review this, then you submit this investigational new drug submission to the regulatory authorities of your country. Then the clinical study starts. If they approve your study which you already done, then the clinical study you are allowed to do by first submitting the protocols for doing phase 1 study, which includes human being, limited number of human being. If your product goes through this successfully, it proves that it is effective, efficacious, and does not have any side effect, then you again submit the data, have meetings again with regulatory authorities, and come up with a decision whether you are allowed to go to second phase or not. Many drugs, many new chemical entities are dropped at this stage because of their toxicity or benefits. So when you are doing second phase 2 study, again, you have to do it on human being. Number is increased now. Then you start doing phase 3 studies. And when you complete the phase 3 studies, you again have NDA reviews. It starts. You have a group of companies, group of people, experts from regulatory authorities who review your application, which will review your data, and then decide whether you are allowed to mark your product can be approved. The data which is submitted, the new drug application, review takes place, there is a review committee, and then finally you are communicated the review decision. So this is where you can have a continuous communication and meetings with the regulators and explain your case, how this is with the data which you have generated in the clinical studies. Then starts the review decision. This is taken by the review committee at the regulatory authorities, and they say yes or no and allow you to go further to do the next step is commercially manufactured. And before that, you are asked different questions which you need to answer to the review board and prove that there are no toxicology disadvantages in the product which you are wanting to market. You have to answer all the queries as a sponsor of this drug, and then you are allowed to market. You have to come up with label, whatever it is. Sometimes the product is considered as a black box product where there are toxicities involved in the product, but the value added to the person who is suffering from certain disease is much more than the toxic effect it can have. So this is the way the regulatory drug approval process goes through. You need to decide, you need to think, innovate the ideas to reduce the time of product development, targeting your research so that you can save time, money, and cost. Now look at the expenditure in drug product programming that took place in previous years. See how much of product. In 2022, for example, $226 billion has been spent on new product development. It is expected to rise to 237, 239 in 2024, 248 in 2025, and 2026. 254. So it is constantly rising. FDA approved 50 novel drugs in 2021, which is roughly in line with the 53 drugs that won approval in 2022. So strong demands for COVID-19 therapies in 2021 provided unprecedented revenue levels for a handful of big pharma companies. It did not result in substantial change in R&D spending. In 2019, pharmaceutical companies spent an average of roughly 25% of their revenue on R&D according to federal government statistics. In 2022, top R&D spenders invested closer to 1/5 of their revenue in R&D. US spent about $598.7 billion versus China's $621 billion for overall R&D in 2021. As I said, India is estimated to spend about $93.48 billion. India is expected to spend more than South Korea and move up from 6th to 5th position in the top spender standing. In past several years, India improved her spending in R&D. Now, time taken, as you can see, in case of COVID, there was something which was fast. The COVID vaccine, which was allowed for usage, was based on certain preliminary data, certain phase 1 studies, and it was not approved at the time of really using by the people. It was only emergency approval, where because nobody knows what are going to be the after effects of this vaccine which we all have taken. There was a lot of criticism, but again, in order to avoid the pandemic, it was allowed to be used by the regulators for emergency use only. We do not know what are going to be long-term effects of these vaccines which we have taken, what can be the effects on our children, our future generation. So that's the way regulators take precautions in regular products. This was a pandemic situation, so it did not go through all that is required. It is going through those stages like Now, whoever is having challenges are actually filing their problems with the. Now, let us talk about generic products. New drugs are patent protected when they are approved for marketing. This means that only the sponsor has the right to market the drug exclusively. Once the patent expires, other drug manufacturer can develop the drug which will be known as generic version of the drug. Generic drugs are comparable to brand name drugs that have the same dosage form, strength, route of administration, safety, quality, performance characteristics, bioequivalence or bioavailability, and intended use. Indian pharma companies are expert in these generic drugs. They are ruling the generic market. Because generic drugs are comparable to drugs already on the market, generic drug manufacturers do not have to conduct clinical trials, which we saw phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 trial. Of course, phase 4 has to be done to demonstrate that product is safe and effective. Instead, they conduct bioequivalence or bioavailability studies and file an abbreviated new drug application where you don't need preclinical or clinical studies. FDA has several programs that allow manufacturers, health professionals, and consumers to report problems associated with approved drugs, because that is post-marketing surveillance goes on. FDA is developing a new national system to quickly spot possible safety issues. The system will use very large existing electronic health database where you are supposed to report if you have any side effects or any problems with the drug which you are consuming. Like electronic health record system, administrative and insurance claim database, and registries to keep an eye on the safety of medicine products in real time. So it is the post-marketing survey which goes on. Most important requirement for research in dedicated research scientist team in the R&D lab. Human resources is the most important. Human resource who have passion for drug development. Then you require literature search engine like SciFinder, Reaxis, Google search. This is like knowledge which is available, which you must use. Equipment and instruments required for synthesis, which are required like all glass equipment for synthesis, distillation, tube hoods, microwave reactor, parallel synthesizer, lab autoclave, EasyMax, Optimax, UV visible, FTIR, GCHS, gas chromatography, headspace, with headspace, HPLCs, LCMS, MS, UV, PDA, corona detectors, RI detectors, calorimeter, polarimeter, FPRM, NMR, XRD, IPS, MS, etc. I'm going to show you some pictures of such an instrument which we have at A Solution. Then formulation development requires granulator, stirrer, homogenizer, and so many instruments which you have technology for granulation, homogenization, milling, micronization, then drying, and then tablet compression machines, capsule filling machine, can be automatic hand filling, liquid, ointment, suppository filling machine, blister pack, sterilizers, extruders, manual auto coaters for coating the tablets which you manufacture. Then you need dissolution apparatus, vernier, disintegration hardness tester, densitometer, other instruments for classes like what I discussed above. These are some of the instruments which we have in our research lab. EasyMax. There are 2 reactors, parallel reaction can be done. It's all computer controlled. So you can set up your process, reset up your process, and then get data for what has happened. So that is the innovative way, or rather than trying each and everything, you can use UE and design your process. Then this is an Optimax, where you can scale up your process and optimize your process. While optimizing, you can use this probe, which tells you if you're crystallizing, for example, it gives you online crystal formation, crystal size, If there is a polymorph, it tells you which polymorph. It is connected to polymorphs. You can again computerize and control your operation. This is from Mettler Toledo. This is the dosing unit where you can control your rate of addition of reagents and reactants. This is a microwave oven where you have microwave, monowave to carry out reactions in a very short time. This mainly we use for impurity synthesizing, because this is a small one. You require very small impurities to find out, to spike them in your product and check whether they are there, because this degrades. This is used for reaction as well as degrading your process using the IR frequencies. Then this is an autoclave hydrogenator, which is again computerized and can control pressure, temperature, the flow rate of hydrogen inlet, catalyst, etc. Innovative drugs often mean new treatment options for patients and advance in healthcare for the public. FDA Center of Drug Evaluation and Research, that is CDER, provides clarity to new drug developers on the necessary study, design elements, and other data needed in the drug application to support full and comprehensive assessment. So you need to understand what is available already. They give you guideline how to develop a product, what needs to be done, what should not be done. So they rely on its understanding of the science used. That big team at the CDER used to create new product testing and manufacturing procedures and disease and conditions that new products are designed to treat. They give you guidance what needs to be done, how it is to be done. These are some of the websites which you can refer to for this, getting guidelines and getting more information. Certain drugs are classified as new molecules entities. They are called as NMEs. For purpose of FDA review, many of these products contain active moiety that FDA had not previously approved, either as single ingredient drug or as part of combination product. These products frequently provide input on new therapies. These are Me Too like products, but not exactly Me Too. Like, for example, diclofenac versus aceclofenac. It is almost having similar structure except a derivative of diclofenac. It has less side effect as far as the acidity is concerned, because diclofenac is known for giving acidity. Aceclofenac reduces the chances of you getting acidity. So this is the way FDA defines NMEs. They are not completely not new chemical entities. What is it? Previously approved, they are similar to previously approved molecules. FDA classification of a drug as an NME for review purpose is distinct from FDA's determination of whether the product is a new chemical entity within the meaning of Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act. So what do you have to think of? What can you apply? You can apply artificial intelligence to develop product, to do research in your laboratory. Argument reality, an argument view of physical. You can also have AR, VR technology areas, display technology, camera, processor, motion, sensor, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. You can all use all these technologies for your advantage in your research development, or you can come up with different ideas for innovation. This is something more. I'm running short of time, so I'll skip through these slides. One of the most important innovation which has taken place in lithium batteries is aluminum air batteries now coming up. Israel company Finergy has provided Indian Oil with technology to manufacture aluminum air batteries, which are 2 times the energy density of lithium ion batteries and weight less than half of lithium ion batteries. A vehicle which can run for 200 kilometers on lithium ion battery can run for at least 400 kilometers on aluminum ion battery. India has plenty of aluminum and bauxite ore reserves to feed the whole world with aluminum ion batteries, and it's expected that India is going to get into this technology very soon with the help of this company. Now, energy through windmill, new design. It's a requirement, and I'm going to show you a small video on this new design. So imagine we have this windmill. Please listen.
When we think of wind turbines, we picture giant spinning metal blades and a loud clanking noise. But these colorful wind turbines are designed in the shape of a tulip. Its two vertical blades can produce clean energy from any direction. The wind enters the turbine and then hits both blades. At the same time, horizontal ribs reduce turbulence and increase efficiency. This allows the turbine to produce more energy from a lower wind speed. They can be installed anywhere, such as houses, offices, shopping malls, or car parks. They don't need tall towers, and even with little wind, they start to turn and provide enough power. They take up little space and generate more energy per square foot than solar panels when there is sufficient wind. Traditional wind turbines are very powerful. One wind turbine requires up to 80 acres of land. Huge wind farms with thousands of turbines are a noisy eyesore, but also must be tall to take advantage of the stronger and more consistent wind. Having a massive spinning blade is dangerous in urban areas. Most wind turbines need to be placed far apart. When placed close together, their turbulence interferes with each other. However, tulip turbines can be placed close together in clusters without affecting energy output. In fact, they produce up to 50% more electricity in clusters because they feed air currents into one another. Its unique aerodynamic design makes them quiet. It creates a low frequency that's undetectable to humans. Europe is currently working on becoming climate neutral by 2050. Flower turbines can help achieve this goal.
So this is the outcome of innovative research in wind power energy. Our Prime Minister recently called startups by young Indians as the backbone of New India. The country has 90 unicorns. Number is continuously increasing and is the third largest unicorn hub behind the US, which has 487 and China 301, as per a report by Orios Venture. Despite the success of startups in the country, investment on innovation and R&D are still quite less compared to the US. India's rank in Global Innovation Index improved to 48 in last year from 81 in 2015. The Economic Survey 2021 showed that India's gross expenditure on R&D is about 0.65% of its GDP, significantly lower than the top economic that spends 1.5 to 3% of GDP on research and innovation. We should be thankful that it has increased to 0.65%, which was less than 0.1, 0.2% few years back. The forecast is India will rank 5th ahead of South Korea. So you need to have certain elements, fundamentals for success. You must be passionate in your research activity, obsessed with what you want to do in order to have success in your career. You should be obsessed. Like Sachin Tendulkar was obsessed with cricket. There are people who achieved what they wanted to achieve because of their passion. Then you need to believe in yourself. You should have that belief that yes, you can achieve. You have the ability to achieve what you want to achieve. Then you need to have a strategy. How do you want to achieve what you want to achieve? Like for example, you want to see sun rise, you have to go towards east, not towards west or not towards north. So you need to have that strategy path. So decide how you want to do it. You want to study science, you want to study electronics. What is your passion? Based on that, you plan your strategy. Then you should have values of yourself. Values are judgment. What is right for you? What is right for the country? Patriotism is a value. So you need to decide what is your value, what you consider as your values. You don't want to do something which you don't value. So decide about those values right in the beginning. And you should have energy to work. Day and night, you may have to work. You may have to work 12 hours or 14 hours or sometimes 16 hours a day. So you should have that physical strength for which you need to have good diet. And besides that, you should have mental energy to convince yourself, yes, this is what I can do. That is most important energy. And you have to have bonding power. That means you need to bond with your team players, juniors as well as seniors. The bonding power is like mother having for child or child for. Unless you have that bonding power, you cannot develop a team working because it is very difficult for introvert to achieve success that a team achieves. You need to have the bonding ability. Then you need to be good in communication. You should be good to communicate your ideas, your whatever you want to solutions to the team or to government for asking for help. And the most important communication you should master is with yourself. You should be very, very strong in communicating with yourself, convincing you, believing yourself in order to have that success. So these are the fundamentals which are required if you want to be a successful research and development person and innovate in research. Another thing which I would say, I'll take few minutes, the decision-making process for innovative R&D. A decision is a judgment or choice between two or more alternatives. To arrive at a decision maker must define the purpose of action. Check the list of the options available. Choose between the options and then turn the choice into action. Decisions have power to change one's life forever. Some decisions are good, some brilliant, some bad, and some may be plain disaster. Risk acceptance is important while taking a decision. We make decisions 100 times a day, whether to do this or not to do this, whether to meet the person or whether to go by mobile or whether to go by car. Remember that nothing affects our life more than our ability to make the right decision. How does one make decision? A survey by American Management Association determined that business people only make right decision 50% of the time, even though they are very successful. You want to be better off than that. If you follow the 7 fundamentals. Type of decision can be reversible, irreversible, experimental, trial and error, stage-wise, cautious, conditional, and delayed. This is what you need to use during your experiments. Identify the challenge. What exactly has happened or should happen? What is it that you are supposed to do? Analyze the problem. What are the alternatives? Can human fly? Is there an alternative? How can human fly? How Hanuman could fly? What is it that one has? What is the solution for making person fly? Let's say you all has to think. Evaluate options. What are the pros and cons? Can you have a bike which can fly? Can you think of making a bike which can fly? What kind of research will put in? Identify the choices. Which alternates are the best? Implement plans. What actions needs to be taken? One can talk on this topic for days together. Categorizing the decision is very important. What decision you want? Blueprinting the problem. What is the problem? Like you have a drawing of the house plan which you want to build. You need to blueprint the problem. Saturate the mind with facts. As I said, intuition versus science and logic versus intuition. Intuition, as I said, is saturating the mind with the solutions and precipitating the best one. Rapid reasoning. You need to have that art of rapid reasoning to take decisions without even realizing that you are thinking, you are deciding. Moving away from problems. Sometimes you get so fed up of doing things, thinking, you need to move away, go to some place, and the solution will go pop in. Creative synthesis to find solution is one of the most important in your research. And then logical thinking, decision making must be known to you. When mind gets saturated, super saturated with the thought, the idea precipitates. That is the intention. Ideas are elusive, slippery things. It is best to keep a pad of paper and pencil at your bedside so that you can jot them down during night before they get away. You dream of lot of solutions. This is what all night you feel. Then your right brain is a thinking right brain, and left brain is your logical brain. Use right brain thinking for creativity and left brain for arriving at a logical decision making. Even if you get ideas, don't just go and try them. Don't play the jugaad. You need to logically think whether it is going to make sense or not. As I said, I'm going to give you an example of granted patent for innovative approach to commercially manufacture highly pure propofol, which we are doing. The process is you start with methylparaben or hydroxy methylbenzoate, then you convert it into a diisopropyl derivative with Friedel-Crafts, where it gets demethylated also. And this carboxylic acid molecule at the fourth position you decarboxylate and then distill. Now this looks simple. Previously, if you try to do Friedel-Crafts on phenol, which is the simplest way of atom economy, you end up with a lot of impurities. Show you what happens even in the case of the patent which we filed. These are the three steps which I showed. There are a number of impurities which get formed, and these are the impurities which are already reported, which you should not have in your product. The impurity level should be less than 0.05%. And we were able to resolve this problem by creative thinking. That is what we filed the patent for. We realized during the brainstorming, research, and that propofol does not form sodium salt, whereas all other phenols, impurities, form sodium salt. So we took the advantage of this property and carried out steam distillation, because phenols can be steam distilled. But if you add sodium hydroxide, all phenols form sodium salt. Propofol does not form phenolic storm because of the conjugative effect probably. It does not form sodium salt at all. So we could steam distill propofol as pure as anything else, more than 99.9% pure. So in order to, I don't think we have enough time, because this is another molecule, sugamma sodium, which is highly complex. There are so many groups which are attached to this. It is starts from gamma cyclodextrin, which is like an umbrella type of structure, which is converted into a halo derivative by doing Wills-Pine reaction, and then converted to the sugamadex using 3-mercaptopropanic acid. Here also the hydroxy is simply replaced with thiopropanic acid. Like in case of ibuprofen, isobutyl benzene, hydrogen is replaced by propanic acid. Here also hydroxy is replaced by thiopropanic acid. It's a complex chemistry. I'm not going to go into details. See, this is the way the Wills-Pine type takes place. All 8 hydroxy groups are first replaced with a halogen. It can be chlorine or bromine or iodine. And then you have this octa halo cyclodextrin, gamma cyclodextrin. Then comes the next step of converting that halo, reacting with mercaptopropanic acid sodium salt to get sugamadex. So there is a complex chemistry. Everything goes simultaneously, and you don't want any group which is low group, you want everything to be converted into subaromatic sodium. That's very complex chemistry which you have. So creative synthesis offers ways to expand your choice in making a decision, a technique that is called divergent thinking or expanding the possibilities. In most of these methods, your imagination is the important criterion for you. It might not be a bad idea to give yourself a few minutes to daydream every day. Think through the problem, to thoroughly understand it. Believe that you can find the perfect answer. Dream of creative solution. Dare to follow through and make it happen. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. If there are any questions, please let me know. Go, let's go.
Thank you very much, sir, for a very enlightening session and sharing your ideas and knowledge on the various aspects of innovation in research and development. I request the participants to ask questions. You can post them in the chat box, or you could also unmute your mic and ask. We have a question from Dr. Bhanudas Naik. Is it possible to accelerate the time period required for preclinical and clinical phase studies for the novel drugs discovered during the pandemic conditions?
This is a very, very interesting question. There are a lot of things going on by carrying out cell research using bio reagents which are used in the laboratory. So it can give you a pre idea of what is going to happen. But if once you find that molecule is active, that means it is doing something to the cells which you are using, it is showing some activity, then the bio reagents can be used. The biomarkers they are called as. There are different kinds of biomarkers which can be used, which reduces your time of preclinical and clinical phase. But you cannot escape it presently. It is not allowed. You have to test your product once the regulatory authority says, yes, you have a product which is showing value-added advantages versus toxicology. But this is what is being practiced. You eliminate your compounds for toxicity by using the laboratory, where you can use bio chemicals, which I said, and reduce your time, reduce your success, increase your success story. But there is no way you can do it. Reduce the time further, because I showed you the time which the industry takes, and then the time required for your clinical studies. Of course, the time is reduced when you get a preference of a fast track. That means parallel studies. Whenever there is a pandemic, as in the case of COVID, we have seen there was hardly any number of years which were spent, not even 6 months or 1 year, I think, when it started trial. So this is something which happens when there is a pandemic or there is a disease where there is no drug available for the time being. Cancer, again, some time back it was not available. So you are put on fast track for approval, provided you have a right product. So that is the only way one can reduce the time of getting approval for.
Thank you very much, sir. We have another question from Dr. Preeti Podwal. Also for the innovative drugs, do the same rules apply as for conventional drugs with respect to time from drug discovery to phase of clinical trials?
It's almost same depending on the disease which it is being sponsored for. That is, this is the advantage which you have with regulatory authorities. They have certain guidelines which they follow, Because if you want to go for animal study, they will ask you data. What is the data you have that it is not going to hurt the animal study, long-term or short-term study? And then when you cross that, and when you go to human study, you are again needs to have discussion with the expert board, that is a regulatory panel, where you submit your protocol for what you are wanting to do, how you are wanting to do, and what could be the risk involved. No product is without any risk. What could be the risk? And there are occasions when there is a adverse effect to the patient, and sometimes that's also during the phase 1 study, sometimes in phase 2 study also. But the path remains almost same for all the products. Good question, but unfortunately it is the standard rules which are followed, which helps not only the regulators but to the developer also. I hope
Thank
that
you
is.
very much, sir. We have another question from Sashank Maldar. Sir, can you please tell us the key difference between a conventional microwave reactor and a newly designed microwave reactor?
Yeah, microwave reactor which is used in the laboratory is having a monowave, single microwave. It is with single microwave. Our microwave which we are using in the kitchen is a mixed microwaves. It is not a single microwave. So monowave, which is used for laboratory, is what we are talking about, because it is having certain heat energy which is used instead of using steam or oil heating or anything else. It has a single beam which falls on you need very small quantity of your chemicals or reaction which you want to do on a in a microwave oven. So it is called as mono microwave usage. So it's that looks almost similar. I have shown you the photograph. It is having a plate where you can keep your reagents, and then start microwave it. You can do your reaction within fraction of second, maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds. We use it specifically for degradation of a good product or API. In order to know what happens when degradation takes place, what kind of products are formed, these are then analyzed by using LCMS, SPLC, and all kinds of instruments. So difference is, it is a monowave. Is it understood well?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Microwave oven can be used for heating.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay.
Yes,
So-
I would like to also thank Dr. Kumar Chodankar. I know his busy schedule, but he will definitely take out some time for Dhempe College, I was aware. And such an informative lecture it was. And of course, now that it is known to be informative, there will be many who will see your YouTube video now when we post it on our website. Okay, so it will be helpful to many more students as well as researchers, and I really appreciate the way the presentation was put very nicely in a short possible time. You were able to convey this. So I would really thank you for accepting our invitation and then giving a compact, I would say, lecture for such an exhaustive topic. Actually, I don't think it would be at least take 4 or 5 sessions of 1 hour duration if you had to take it in more details. However, you have, I would say, ignited the interest amongst the researchers and the students, and that is what matters to me. as the principal of the college. So thanks again for joining us and accepting our invitation. Thanks a lot.
It has been a pleasure, and sorry about the first part of the because we could not see the slides. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, it is all right.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. So it was really nice having you for the Impact Lecture Series. Even in the future, we would like to have you in person for any offline, maybe a webinar, a seminar, or some conference which would be organized in college based on research or innovation. Now, the feedback link for both the sessions have been posted in the chat box. Participants kindly do fill in the feedback link. Now I request Dr. Preeti Pandit to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
I, Dr. Preeti Pandit, take extreme privilege in proposing the vote of thanks for the Institution's Innovation Council's Impact Lecture Series Part 2. First and foremost, I thank the management of DCT's Dhempe College of Arts and Science, and a very big thank you to our principal ma'am for always supporting us and being so kind and cooperating for all our activities. Thank you, ma'am. I would also thank the sponsors, that is Ministry of Educational Innovation Cell and All India Council of Technical Education, Government of India. A very big thanks to our esteemed speakers for the first session, that is Mrs. Sapna Narvaria, and for the second session, Sir Dr. Nanda Kumar Chodankar, for such a informative, impactful sessions. We are grateful for having you with us via this virtual platform. I also thank the participants for their attention and for the time they have devoted for both the sessions. And last but not the least, I thank the organizers of Team IIC for arranging such meaningful sessions. Once again, I thank all and I wish all have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Shall I disconnect?
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be pleased to come and see you one day.